Hello and welcome. Quick question. Have you ever heard of the phrase closed mouths don't get fed? Now, this doesn't really just apply to when you're hungry. And today I'm going to share in this video a simple tip that will really help make your LinkedIn profile stand out and also be in tandem with providing you the really great way sorry, this is one of my words, really great way to remind yourself how amazing you are. So before I forget and go off on a tangent, if you are looking for direct guidance or mentorship in your career journey, I've actually got something to share with you that I'm really excited about. So if you want to learn more, stay tuned to the end. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Cassandra, and I'm known as the Prosperous Heart. I empower people just like you to create greater success in their life, and I choose to do so by breaking down the tech from digital marketing and programming into easy to understand bite-sized pieces. So if you find value in today's Prosperous Heart training, please be sure to comment. Let me know what your biggest takeaway of this was, and share this with your favorite platform, whichever one that might be. It will help others potentially improve their chances of seeing more content like this. And if you would like to see more from me on programming, digital marketing, human design, whatever I feel may benefit you, then be sure to turn on notifications for whatever platform you're seeing this on. Now, closed mouths don't get fed. Um, this is something that has lived with me for a very long time. I went to back when I was a kid. I think this was in elementary. It might have been middle school, but regardless, I remember a time very early on. I was in math class, and it was a topic that I really was interested in, and I was fascinated by whatever it was that we were talking about at the time. Well, I was asking questions. I mean, that's what learning is for, right? That's what education is supposed to be for you to learn and for you to get excited and find things that, just light you up. At least that's what I feel it should be. And it's not just about learning history. But in this moment, I was excited. I was asking questions. I was making sure that I was understanding things. And I don't remember exactly how this opportunity occurred, but basically another kid in the class turned around to me and basically said, "Shut up, just let's finish this thing." Like I basically the perception that I received from this many years of a memory that I've had when I was younger was basically he was telling me to be quiet and we want to be done for the day. So while I understand that, he was wanting to just be done, he didn't care or he understood or whatever it was. But by doing so, and I'm sure he didn't mean anything by it, but by doing so, some people might take that as, oh, I should never speak up in class. I don't want to bother other people, right? There's so many things with that we just don't know. We don't live in their shoes. And quite frankly, I was trying to learn. So it really stuck with me, and that among many other things. But the second thing that I wanted to share with you today or let me finish off that thought. Sorry. So elementary school, I came to learn. Kids told me to shut up, and basically it was the youngest memory of people getting in of for me of people getting in the way of others' success. Because by trying to basically shut me down, that could have stopped me from doing whatever I did at that age, and becoming who I was, because math actually became a very big part of my career. So that was the very first one. But the most recent one, and I'll wrap this up here in just a moment. But the most recent one is something that so let's obviously it's closer to home, but it has been recent. So if you haven't worked at Cisco Systems, the technology company, not the food company, then you probably have never heard of this. So bear with me and let me give you just a little bit of history. There's something called Coding Hour. This is something that I started several years ago, I think 2017, 2018, and it came about for many reasons. And basically what it was first was it was a biweekly thing that I led and that I ran for about 3 years before I left Cisco the first time. And basically, it was either myself or somebody else coming on to teach Python, data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, like whatever it was that would benefit the spirit that Cisco was trying at the time, it was pretty new, but the spirit of, hey, we need more developers, we need more software engineers, we need to automate things, right? And so that and several other things that I'll probably share another time all came together at a time where I was my I think the title was collaboration scripting and automation lead or something. And so my boss at the time suggested doing an office hour. And I was like, you know, I don't I don't feel like that's going to be enough to support this growing community within Cisco, especially for people who haven't had a traditional background like I have in a college setting, right? And so, how could we make this better? How could we support the community? And so, to try and break down silos and make sure that as many people as possible could come along and learn and grow, I made Coding Hour. And so, with this, initially it was welcomed. And at some point, I was told by several people that I should just quit. It wasn't quite in alignment with my direct management, what they were looking for. Um, it was it was quite frankly taking up a decent amount of time because because if you've ever done any project management, and especially with it when it's with other people, you've got to juggle a lot of things. But the thing was is that I knew how important it was. I knew the potential impact it could have on people. And by the time that I left Cisco the first time, there was over 3,000 people on the mailer, over 1,000 people in the WebEx Teams room, and it was something that had grown from a need that I saw to help people across Cisco, whether they were actually in a development role or not, and kind of bring them together in that community. And so I bring that up today as well because recently, if you didn't know, I lost my job in a company restructuring, and unfortunately was not able to find another role within the timeline. And so I did what I could to make sure I had connections and connected with people before leaving Cisco. But what was great about it is that I had I had some wonderful people reach out to me and share with me some of the impact that Coding Hour had directly with them, right? It wasn't just about me. It wasn't just about my passion to empower people. It was them sharing their experience. And it was such a wonderful, multifaceted experience for me because this is why this matters. As I mentioned before, I'm passionate for empowering others for success. And that has led me to a desire to teach others what I know or connect them with others to teach them the topics that I don't. And that has led to creating communities of amazing people who not only benefited from my leadership, but also remembered me years later upon my return. So when I lost that job, or lost this most recent job, the second time I was at Cisco, and those connections were happening, and I was learning about these wonderful stories about how Coding Hour, what that meant for these people, I realized that this was something that I could also learn from. It's it's one thing when you see the numbers, right? I said 3,000, 1,000, whatever. It's one thing when you see the numbers, but it doesn't provide you the emotional connection. When you hear another person's story that is outside of yourself, that's not your own experience, you have the ability to greater empathize with them and learn some amazing lessons. And if you're brave enough to connect with them, and or rather, if you're brave enough to connect with them and they're brave enough to share that with you, they're also likely willing to share that publicly. And what I mean by that is that this is an opportunity where if someone has been kind enough to share their experience of how you've made an impact in their life, you should suggest, or I suggest that you should request that from those LinkedIn connections, have them share that impact that you've made as an official LinkedIn recommendation. So when you do that, a couple of suggestions. One, be sure to release any feelings that you have of whether they give it or not, right? They've already shared with you the impact that you've made, and that is amazing. And if they decide that they want to publicly put that out there, even better. But already they've given you an amazing gift. And so you should definitely be grateful for that and just kind of release any feelings you might have around any response to that or not, right? Now, if you know them, pay it forward, right? If you have an experience with them, if you can speak on their skills, give them a LinkedIn recommendation even before you ask for one yourself, because one, that shows them, the impact that they made on your life, right? And so you're building some more connection with the people that you have met in your roles or whatever. So that's just a suggestion. And like I said, this was a tip that can help you stand out, because those recommendations are seen by hiring managers and potential colleagues and people who may be looking to hire you for your services in the future. So it's a great way to stand out, and it's also a great way for you to have when the imposter syndrome comes, because it happens, as far as I know, to everybody. You can go back and look at those and go, I made this impact. I'm going to keep going and keep doing what's on my heart, because what my passion led me to is what created this experience for someone else. So if you're having a bad day, if you just need to pick me up, that's right there to look at and see the impact that you've already made, because there's so much more out there for you to be, do, and have and create. So to recap, don't be afraid to ask for the LinkedIn recommendation. It can be as simple as, thank you so much for your support. If you have the time, would you please also consider sharing your experience in a LinkedIn recommendation for me so that I can put it on my site? And maybe that last part might not be for you, but I actually made a virtual resume, as it were. And so I put up these wonderful recommendations from people on that site, to kind of show the impact that I've been able to do. So as an extra show of goodwill, if you want to also add to what I've just mentioned, be sure to actually interact with them with some of their recent posts on LinkedIn, because again, that shows more rapport. You're helping them be boosted with the LinkedIn algorithm and all that jazz. And I'll go into that in another video another time. But it also helps them feel good, right? You're giving it forward, even if they don't do anything after your request except say no. Which in my experience so far, no one has done that. They've all graciously given wonderful reviews about their experiences. All right, so that's it from me for now. Thank you so much for being here. You could have literally been anywhere else. So I really appreciate that you spent your time and energy here with me today. But before I go, I just wanted to remind you that I've done something new this year, and I've decided to open up my mentorship program. And I'm not only, rather, I'm only offering 10 spots for the month of April. Again, this is new. I'm trying to make sure that what I'm doing is supportive of the people who decide to join me. So during my career, just a little bit of background, during my career as a software engineer and digital marketer, I found that it doesn't really matter if you are planning a go-to-marketing strategy for something you've developed, or you are trying to get people to attend your event, or you're simply trying to find a job. You must learn how to leverage multiple digital marketing channels in order to be seen by the most people likely interested in what you have to offer, what you're promoting, whether that's a product, service, or yourself. Like I said, if you're looking for a job. So to add to that, when you're developing software, having a mentor, and really in any job, but especially in development, having a mentor to help guide you is an essential part of your journey, at least if you want to save time and money. And I don't know about you, but in this time in day, I definitely want to save time, and I for sure want to save money. That's why, one of the reasons I got into developing. um, but anyway, as I was saying, I've designed a new opportunity to empower those who are interested in growing both their skills in digital marketing and programming. And obviously, with all that, or maybe not obviously, what I know about project management and agile methodologies. So, truth is, bottom line, even if you get a degree in computer science like I did, technology is evolving at a rapid rate. And without a mentor or group of people to support you in your endeavors, it may seem overwhelming to try and keep up. I understand your pain. I really do. That's why I created my monthly mentorship program. So if you are looking to have direct connection with someone who has worked in both the digital marketing realm as well as software development, if you're tired of confusing trainings, lack of responses to your inquiries on discussion boards, or simply would like a more human approach to learning, then my monthly mentorship program might be right for you. go ahead and connect with me on whatever platform you found this on. We can chat about what you're looking to accomplish, where you feel you need assistance, and how I may be able to further empower you for success in your endeavors. Okay, that's it from me for now. Thank you again so much for being here. I hope you have a wonderful and prosperous rest of your day.